morning. I am not going to even drag out the salutations today because I am ready to go. You already know it's Saturday. It's 8 a.m. You see this face. You hear this voice. You already know what it is. And today, if you miss it, you're just going to miss it. I'm not waiting for not near soul because my guests are on fire and they are absolutely ready. So good morning, and good morning. Today's going to be a great day because we serve a great God. So kingdom blessings, everyone. I am your host, Cherise Stevenson, your life strategist, and welcome to Solace Saturday. This is year 5, season 8, where our theme is Live in the Now. And now is an acronym for No Opportunity Wasted. And I have been given an amazing opportunity to have this segment on today. So let me just hurry up and get to it. Good morning. So Solace Saturday is a platform of growth and encouragement. Birth in the third installment of Unnamed Unwanted, the trilogy. I Know Who I Am. The process to positivity. It is not the only process, but it is a process of becoming bigger, better, greater. And we use this moment as a mirror, not to look at ourselves, but to look within ourselves through our weekly readings of aspirations, which are positive quotes. Aspirations, which are positive quotes. Inspirations, which are positive scriptures. And affirmations, which is positivity we speak over ourselves and one to another. And this platform has been created to challenge you to make a choice to change. And what you see is what you get, and what you hear is exactly what you heard. I'm trying to figure out, it's always something with me, and I believe it's me this time, because I can't, once again, I cannot. Oh, so delayed. Jesus. Why is my stuff so delayed? I paid the bill. Nevertheless, I'm coming. I just was waiting for it to open up on my phone so I can post. All of you on your devices, share this platform, because this is, I don't know if this is a one and done, but it's being done today, and you are going to want this in your memoirs, in your memory. So share it, tag some people, find the men, because they need to hear this. Not they want to hear it, but they need to hear it. So again, good morning. I see you're coming. Good morning. So listen, you know how I feel about prayer. Pray for the world, pray for the government, pray for the mayor. Mayor Donnie, if I said his name correctly. If I didn't, please forgive me. But I'm liking him a little bit. He's doing some things and getting some things done. And I'm appreciating him. Let's see how he continues. But right now, he's a cool dude right now. So pray for him. Pray for your churches, your pastors, your leaders, your covering. Good morning, Divine Destiny Cathedral, Bishop, First Lady Jones, and to my parents, Nanny and Pop. You know I love me some you. I need you guys to also keep the Venezuela in your prayers. They have lost 188 people. In my mind, that's 188 families. So, 2 earthquakes, and I think there's some other countries too. I think I saw Japan and some other countries I can't remember off the top of my head, but these countries are being hit by earthquakes. people are losing loved ones and their values, their home, their shelter. Please continue to pray for them. Please pray for my nanny, my pop, and my church family. Nanny had a double loss in family members last weekend. She lost her father-in-law on one day, and then her brother-in-law the next day. So it was like a Friday, Saturday type of situation. So please hold my nanny and my dad up in prayer. This was his father and his brother, which makes that my bishop's grandfather and his uncle. So you see how that just trickles down one to another. So please keep that family in prayer. The Moore family, keep them in prayer. Pray for me. I don't know why every summer I go through life transitions. God always covers me. God always favors me, so I'm not worried. But it just happens for me in the summer. I love it. I love it. I'm not scared. It's nothing harmful. But just bigger, better, greater. It's just bigger, better, greater. Pray for me in my health. I did not share this with anyone. Jamel, please don't be mad at me. That's my cousin, and he's going to yell at me. But I just recently found out, I know you just see me coughing sometimes on the platform. I'm battling pneumonia. I have viruses attached to my lungs, and I've been on this medication for the last 2 weeks because they're trying to keep me out the hospital. I have an inhaler now. I have my own nebulizer now that I got to take. I got to take all these pills. I'm doing much better. I'm still not able to sleep in my bed. I've been sleeping out in the living room. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the height of the bed. I don't know what it is, but I can't sleep in my bedroom. I have to sleep out here in my living room. So just pray for me, that my health increase and I'm making the right decisions. Okay, that's my prayer request. I pretty much shouted out everybody for their birthdays. I have one birthday, which was my niece Mystique. Happy birthday to her. I have Archbishop Ronald Hopkins and First Lady Tracy Hopkins, who celebrated 43 years of wedded bliss. And I'm like, 43, they don't look 43. So if they've been married for 43 years, how old are they? So the math ain't mathing for me with them. But happy anniversary, my God. We done been through some things and seen some things. So happy anniversary to them. Today is our fourth Saturday. We usually do fourth Saturday with Jamal Lewis, and we will, believe it or not. But we are also having Dr. Prophet Earl O'Brien with us today, and we're going to get into that in about the next minute or so. And we are discussing this book, I Am a Disruptor. I am a disruptor. I am a disruptor. The book is available on Amazon. We're going to get into that in a minute. So our fourth Saturday is what a way to close out Solace Saturday. What a way to celebrate our men for Father's Day. That's our theme for June. Outside of my birthday, it's gonna be amazing. To everybody who called, text, sent messages to me for my birthday, thank you. Again, I can't thank you enough. And I think that's all I want to say to you guys. We are on vacation July and August. We are on vacation July and August. Please do not text me and ask me what happened to Solace Saturday. We are on vacation July and August. Stay near your devices and you will have a return date for September, which will probably be the second Saturday, whatever that date is. Because I think that's the weekend after Labor Day, whatever Whenever there's Labor Day, we come back that Saturday after Labor Day. So I think, I don't know. I didn't look at the calendar, but that's when we will be back. Okay, so this is our last platform. This is what get in here, because we are ending with a bang, kaboom, pow, wow, because this has never happened before on Solid Saturday, and I am absolutely over the moon, and I'm about to shut up and bring up my guests because they are here. They are on fire, and I want to hear from them. Let's say good morning to the prophet, Earl O'Brien, and to the man of wisdom, Jamel Lewis. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good day. Good day to you all. It's good to be here.
Yeah. Ha. Everybody want to see their name up in lights. So listen, I'm so honored.
I hope you know as honored as she is that she's going to get it. Ooh, she's going to get it. Oh, she's going to get it. Mm, mm, mm. Y'all pray for
Listen.
I'm coming for
her. Yep, I know, it's coming. See, so he did that live because, he need witnesses that he said he was going to do it. So, listen, now we had a switcheroo because Earl had a family outing. And so we had Jamel 2 weeks ago. And now Jamel, and we spoke on mentor and mantles. And Jamel said something that I want to incorporate to this segment. And I don't know how it's going to play out, but it's going to work because you guys are my guys, right? I told you guys I want to deal with chapter 10 of this book and chapter 10 only. And the reason why is because the title of chapter 10 is We Have Not Talked About This Enough. Spiritual abuse, the culture of silence, and the dignity of your pain. That's the title of chapter 10. We have not talked about this enough. Spiritual abuse, the culture of silence, and the dignity of your pain. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read the first paragraph of the book so everybody can hear what's going on because everybody does not have the book. And then, Earl, I want you to briefly define just what a disruptor is to remind the people what we discussed a couple of weeks ago. And then we're going to get into this book, okay? Earl? We good? I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, we good? You heard me?
Yeah, I heard you. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So listen up now, because I don't know if you have the book not, so I'm going to read it. Okay. This chapter is for those who are healing and trying to find safety again. Not for the theologians, not for the institution, not for the leaders who are comfortable with the current conversation about what happens inside religious walls. This chapter is for the person who sat in the pew for years and quietly absorbed things that were never from God. For the person who left a church or several churches carrying more wounds than they arrived with and still wrestling with whether what happened to them was real, was serious, or was somehow their fault. That's what this chapter is about. So, Earl, tell us again what a disruptor is. And I'm sorry, tell us what it is and why you was prompted to write this book. Let's review a little bit.
Okay. So, a disruptor is a person in a system who refuses to let broken patterns continue through them. What prompted me to write this book was just basically my years of experience of seeing religious harm happen within institutions, how silence was used to protect those in leadership positions. I've seen countless individuals who thought they were doing things that seemed to uphold the to seem like they were upholding in the thing of integrity. And what I mean by that is, and I'm pretty sure we've all seen it, where if a woman was pregnant out of wedlock, she would stand in front of the church and give the church an apology. But then you see the musician on the keyboard as if they'd done nothing wrong when they were part of that thing too. I've seen and I've worked with countless individuals who were harmed in religious institutions, that are now actually back in the church, and they're in leadership roles right now. But they didn't want to have anything to do with stepping into a church, not a Sunday service, not a Bible study. I've seen my mother go through spiritual abuse. I've seen where gaslighting was used to escape the responsibility or the accountability that needed to be in place where harm was done, or where people were told that their pain was their fault. Like, or you left church because, or you got church hurt because you lack accountability. No, some people actually were hurt because they were in spaces that were supposed to protect them and left them for dead, for lack of better words. So that's what really prompted me to really write this book. I wasn't going to be honest with you. I was not going to, because I already knew what it was going to cost. I knew the backlash that was going to come from it. I knew the
you said something that prompted a question that's not even in my notes, and I want both of you to answer it.
Okay.
Because I've experienced what you've experienced as well, and then some. Do you feel forgiveness can be manipulated?
I feel like the word, it could definitely, it could be weaponized. Like forced forgiveness can be weaponized. Like someone saying to you, well, you have to forgive me because the Bible says so. Right? Without that person actually taking accountability for the things that they've done or said, or right, that's something that may have caused harm, right, to an individual. And I'm not talking about, we're not talking about we having a disagreement, right? We're not talking about people just that don't want to hear the truth at all. I'm talking about individuals who understand the things of God, who understand the systems of church, who understands relational dynamics just in general. Sometimes forgiveness can be weaponized. If an individual does not want to take accountability, it's easy to weaponize the word forgiveness. I want to hear from Pastor.
I really believe that definitely I agree with what you said, but I also see another way that forgiveness has been weaponized. And when we understand that both sides of the coin are responsible
Correct.
for bringing forth a true forgiveness.
Correct.
When it's not a true forgiveness, the one who desires forgiveness can weaponize forgiveness in this way. They will no. In fact, what I'm saying is the one that wants to the one that this is confusing here. Hold on. Let's get this right. The one that wants to hear someone else say, I forgive you, that person can weaponize it in this way. They can allow the person to say the words, I forgive you, but never allow them to move on past what they have asked for forgiveness for. So you keep this person locked up within a system that keeps revisiting an issue that you claim you wanted forgiveness for, but you did not let go of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just the other coin to the side that you spoke of.
Yes.
And when we understand that forgiveness, just look at the word itself, it's for I give.
Yeah.
Forgiveness. Yeah. There is a supply being met to a demand. But if that supply is never applied to the area where it's needed, then all you have done is collected words, and you've collected someone's desire to be submitted to love. And now you're using love in a way that twists. It becomes wicked in your hands. You know, we think of wicked and we think of things being evil, but wicked and evil are two different things. Wicked is twisted, like a wicker basket. You twist the stuff to make it a wicked is being twisted. And sometimes we twist narratives and we twist apologies and we twist certain things in order to imprison people. Because we felt like you did it to us, we gonna do it back to you. We want our lick back instead of wanting actual forgiveness.
All right.
It goes, you took me back to my initial question when we was talking before we came on. Why is the truth so hard to accept? Is it the information? Is it the delivery? Is it the lack of accountability? Because this all leads back to why people become silent. Because it goes into, they're not going to believe me anyway. It's always my fault, because that's what I read in the paragraph. Correct? It's your fault. So this culture of silence, I feel, comes from a lack of truth. And if forgiveness can be manipulated and twisted, like you guys are explaining to us, and it's based on who wants it, because manipulation is about control also, right? So help us be better.
You hit it right on the nose.
Yep.
The reason why people cannot accept truth is because truth ultimately disarms both people of control.
Absolutely.
And when you are disarmed of control, all you are left with are unbiased accounts of what really happened. And now you have to collaborate, not control, not compete, but you have to collaborate to get the healing that is necessary for the situation.
And accountability falls on both ends.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
What that person did and what you allowed them to do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And even sometimes you have to acknowledge that not just that you allowed it, but you set up the circumstances for it to happen. Certain things should never be able to happen because you already have boundaries and situations in place to make sure that you are protected. But sometimes we get so caught up in people's personality, caught up in people's charisma, that we let that boundary go because, hey, this is who, you know who this is. I don't care who you are, or you have to respect my boundary. If you can't respect my boundary, kick rocks. Bishop, apostle, president, whatever you want to be. My boundaries are my boundaries, not just for one, but for all.
How do you help a person? I'm taking your role, Cherise. How do you help a person who can't decipher between a rule and a boundary?
Ooh, that's a great question. That is a great question. I think,
don't know.
Yeah, it's the truth. I think we have to understand that I would really say boundaries are rules, but boundaries are more personalized rules.
Yes. Oh my God, I love this already.
You have to have certain things in place that where you may be able to do that to everybody else, but right here, the buck stops here.
Talk to me.
Do it here.
Talk to me. Oh my
So
God.
you have to find another way to get your point across. I am not comfortable. That's how I set my boundaries. I start off by saying, I'm not comfortable with that. Is there another way that we can facilitate whatever is needed for the situation? Because what you're doing, I don't feel comfortable. It makes me feel trapped. And when I feel trapped, bad things happen. So rules are something that are general. These are generalized things. You know, there are certain rules that I'm going to follow regardless of my boundary. Like if I'm told that I'm not supposed to wear a certain attire in a certain place at a certain time, then I must abide by those rules. But when I get there and I'm already following those rules, you can't nitpick. Oh, so you didn't decide that you would want to wear a red tie instead of a blue? Okay, I think you crossing the line now because I abided by the dress code, but now you're trying to move more into a personalized area. You can't choose my colors. You can't choose the specifics of what I decide to do. You can set the table for what it is that you desire. But once the table has been set, you cannot decide how I show up to the table if you've invited me in. That becomes control. And usually people control others and things because they lack discipline in their own life. So because they can't discipline themselves, they'll try to control everybody else.
I need somebody to bring me some water. Listen, there's comments coming through here left and right. I'm gonna try to put some up so y'all can see. But Carlene said Mr. Lewis, perfect wording that I will adopt. I love that. I love that.
Man, listen, that comes from Cookie.
Lori says rules are set as standards to obedience. I like that. I like that. And respect. And y'all got my head spinning. I forgot I was a host. So I see y'all coming in. Thank you for your comments and thank you for joining us. We are discussing, believe it or not, I am a disruptor, and this is what we're doing. We're breaking up some stuff today, especially for the men. Even though it sounds like we're talking about church, and we are, but it's applicable to life overall. Boundaries are not just for church. Boundaries are for life. For school, in the workplace, in your home, in your friendships, in your relationships. Boundaries are needed. And boundaries will also show you who people are in your life and where they need to be. Period.
And run from those who don't believe in it.
Jamel, you don't even understand how many times I've told people, I don't care what you do over there. You're not doing it at 1490. And I promise you, they're a whole different person in 1490. I don't care what you do on the other side of my door. I don't care what you do outside the door. But here, no, ma'am, no, sir. So you are absolutely right. But Earl, this chapter 10 that we're talking about, because we don't talk about it enough.
Okay.
You mentioned the culture of silence, and just your wording piqued curiosity, because the culture of silence, and I want to dig into that.
Yeah.
But when Jamel was on 2 weeks ago, and we were dealing with the mantle and the mentor, he made a statement. And he said, wait, I wrote it down. Hold on. Because I don't want to misquote. Oh, he said that you have to manage your trauma.
Yes. Yep.
I feel like these two statements, the culture of silence and manage your trauma, has a link. Because my mind is not, my mind ain't there yet to make it, and this is why we're here. I need you guys to bring that together, because there's some things that need to be broken. I feel like there's some things that men need to hear, because the way men manage trauma is totally different the way women manage trauma. Mm-hmm. And I feel like one of the ways that men manage trauma is that they adapt the culture of silence. So let's break it down. Let's open it up. Let's connect it. Let's talk about it.
Well, when we talk about trauma, right, and that word in and of itself has been trending for the last few years. We're talking about trauma. We're talking about something that has knocked off the homeostasis of a thing. We're talking about something within the biology of an individual has shifted. So they're not seeing the world the same way they did pre-traumatic event. We grew up in, and so I don't want to generalize it, but some of us have grew up in homes where autonomy was not a thing. Agency was not a thing. We grew up in households. Some of us have grown up in households where you couldn't speak up. You could not advocate for yourself. That was not a word that was learned in certain households. And because of that, we were not. And also on top of that, when we would begin to feel certain things, we didn't have certain lessons within the home to inform us that to give language to what we're feeling. So, for example, when dysfunction or in the household has occurred, no one really sat someone down to tell them, hey, listen, this is what a disconnect in a house full of people feel like, because we're not on the same page. This is what being overwhelmed feels like, because you don't know what emotion to lean into. So you're experiencing a dichotomy in real time, because both emotions you may be feeling don't go together, doesn't mesh, right? When we're talking about trauma, we need to have the conversation of inherited dysfunction that has been happening for decades, right? And now when you're going out into the world, because you have not had the template of a healthy dynamic at home, you feel like going out in the world, this is acceptable, right? So, and it's sad to say, I hate to use this example, but, you know, mommy and daddy not vibing right now. So daddy gonna do what he want, mommy gonna do what she want. I go out into the world, I don't know what a healthy dynamic looks like in a relationship, romantically. I'm going off of what I've seen occurred and feel like this is okay. Because nobody told me, hey, when you go into a relationship out in this world, don't do what you saw at home. We know we made it a bad place for you. We know we didn't make it the best for you to really see through a clear lens what love really looks like in real time. We've inherited this dysfunction in the household where people that get mad and we throw things and we start screaming and people start throwing hands and we start to see a myriad of things that can mar someone's view. So now trauma outside gets perpetuated, but it looks like culture because we've seen our families do it. Right? We've seen grandma and grandpa, oh, y'all been married 65 years, but don't know that grandma was getting busted upside her head in silence. And silence was used to be like, oh, this is how we keep the peace. But whose peace was really being kept? We talk about trauma, we're talking about not all wounds were physical. Some are mental, some are emotional. Some get stuck in the body after a while. The tightening of the hands, the tightening, the clenched fist, the tightening of the jaw based on scent, based on location or garment, fabric, something that will trigger an area that's not healed yet. So now when an individual looks like they're over the top, that person's always extra, why they getting mad all of a sudden? Is because the body left the freeze response into a fight response. What they froze from the initial response now turns into another one, and now it looks like the person's being problematic. If you don't know what trauma is, you won't know how to manage it. If you don't know how to release trauma out of your body, it can turn or appear to be what we call somatization, where it can feel like a medical symptom happening in your body, but it's not. Where we get hypertension from. This is where we feel like, we're always fatigued all of the time. Because we to manage trauma, you have to understand what a time paradox is. Because trauma, it's rooted in the soul first. It's in your soul. It gets stuck there. So the soul is trying to live in multiple seasons or realms simultaneously. But if you have not gotten language for that, you'll think you're tired because you work a lot. It's the soul trying to make sense of the last season that it's still in while you're in a new place physically, but your soul is still stuck in what happened 15 years ago. You have not made peace with that place. You have not made peace with what has happened. You have not even come to a place of acceptance. I wrote a chapter in here. You haven't even grieved well. You haven't even done that. Some people don't even want to touch grief. I agree with Pastor because you have to manage your trauma, but you need language for that. There's language you need. So people can't heal because of a language barrier. I'm gonna shut up.
That's powerful. That was. Ooh. 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 See, that language barrier is a big thing because I'm very big on telling people that sometimes we language ourselves out of our own healing.
Sure. Oh God.
Sometimes we hear things that don't sound familiar, and because it's not familiar, we won't allow ourselves to get comfortable with saying those things that will bring us the necessary healing that we need. When I think of silence, I think of a pact. It is a pact between two people.
Yeah.
When I think of silence, I'm thinking that each party is given their consent not to speak concerning the matter. And even when you don't have the language,
Yeah.
you have to have the action of removing your consent. You may not know exactly what to say,
Oh my.
but you sure enough can say, I can't do that. I can't go with that. That is not comfortable. That makes me feel crazy. I can't do that. If you don't even have all the verbiage yet, you have to know when you're comfortable and when you're not. You have to know when you're being forced to do something and when you're not. That means you have to be present in your moment. You have to be present in your body. You have to know. A lot of people, and I'm not a therapist. You know, I do give counsel, but when stuff get out of my hands, I turn it over to the professionals. But what I do understand is this, that there is something called disassociation.
Yes. Oh my God, I was about
And
to
when
say.
the pain gets too much, when the trauma gets too much, you literally compartmentalize and push it over here
Yep.
so that you can keep going.
Absolutely.
And because you never deal with what you have over here and you create a new lane here, if you do it enough, you start developing another personality.
Yes.
You start developing another mind. And in doing so, what happens is you really never grow past the first trauma. So a lot of times when you think you're talking to a grown person, you think you're talking to someone who's 35, 27, 47, 88, when in all actuality, they have never dealt with their trauma when they were 12. They're still 12 years old. You're
Walk.
dealing with a 12-year-old.
Walk heavy, please. Oh.
And they have not grown. They have not matured because the trauma stops them. Trauma comes to tell you this. Fix it and fix it now.
Thank you.
When you have been traumatized,
Oh my God.
there is no room for kicking the can down the street. Fix it and fix it now. If we, whether it's in relationships, we have to learn how to have those rough and tough and difficult conversations when we feel what we're going through. Now, if you know what's going to turn out to violence, you take a time out, take some time until you're able to, yes, arrested development, but you take the time out and you make sure that you get yourself to a place where you're calm enough to express.
We'll have a mediator.
Find a mediator. Find a mediator. But you cannot let it go for long periods of time.
Absolutely.
Because you will create for yourself. And this is what we don't understand. The way society does things and the way society moves, they use you against you.
Yes.
In church, we want to talk about a devil and a demon. It ain't the devil and the demon, it's you.
Thank you.
You are your own personal devil.
Thank you.
Which is, the word literally means deceiver. It literally means devaluer. You are your own personal devil, and you are your own obstruction to your healing. Because why? There is a level of fear.
I'm done.
Silence also speaks to there being fear somewhere.
I'm done.
And when fear comes to show, fear literally shows up, but you have to interpret it correctly. Fear doesn't show up to make you timid. Fear shows up to make you realize that you're off your square. You are out of position. Because God has not given us a spirit of fear. So if God didn't give it to me, that means I'm off my position. That means I'm not where I need to be. That means I need to examine myself and see where it is that I feel I'm lacking, because fear is a derivative of lack.
Yep. Oh,
So you have to ask yourself, why do I feel like I'm lacking when I know that I'm well able to do all of this? I know I can do this. But someone, Pop used to teach it like this: fear is false evidence appearing real.
yep. Yep.
And the thing is that when you are truly standing in who you were created to be, that spirit does not transact with fear. That spirit, the spirit of truth, Ruach Emet, the spirit of truth does not transact with the illusion. The spirit of truth comes and it obliterates every false evidence. And it leaves you with what the bare facts are. This is what it is. And that's another reason why people don't like dealing with the truth. Because the truth makes them look in the mirror and realize that you cannot correct the situation by correcting what's in the mirror. You can't correct the reflection. You got to correct the source.
Hello.
And we're afraid to face ourselves. We're afraid to face our choices. We're afraid. So then, being afraid to face our choices, we dive deeper into silence. And the more silence we have, the more we compartmentalize, the more identities we create, so that we can keep up this illusion to everybody else that everything is all right. There's just so much to say about it. That is such a loaded. It's just, woo, that thing is so full.
That's alive by itself. Like that.
Yes. Yes. Yes, sir.
Ooh.
Brother.
Y'all gotta help me remember that I am the host. And I was supposed to have questions, but the folks are getting what they need. These comments are on fire. I want us. We always address the situation, right? And we break it down, and we figure it out. I want to at least leave with people the beginning stages of healing, right? So Earl wrote, healing begins when safe spaces are created where people can finally name what happened to them without fear of being dismissed or spiritually shamed.
Yep.
So let's talk about that. How can we help the healing process? How for my men, because we're still trying to create this for the men. We've identified the silence, the trauma. Now, how do we heal? You mentioned a safe space. You mentioned naming it. You mentioned identification. How do we get men to do that? And this is all in, believe it or not, this is all in this book in chapter 10 and then some. So if you're being blessed by this platform, I admonish you to get this book. It's on Amazon. Go ahead.
And I'm doing my book signing event July 10th if y'all can come. I'll be talking about.
Can you type up the information in the comments or send it to me and we can post it, or send a flyer and I'll share it.
I'll do that. But well, before we get into the how do we heal for the men, I want to talk about, we have to define what safety really means.
Jesus.
Because safety, the word safety can be triggering because it probably was used in a way to get us to open up, be vulnerable in spaces just for it to be weaponized, to use as ammunition against us. So for some men, the word safe can be triggering. Right? You mean I gotta let my guard down again after I trusted that individual? So you mean to sit there and tell me I'm safe? What does safe mean? What does safe look like? Right? We've been on survival mode for so long. My body can't even interpret safety. Right? We gotta go deeper down to the space of the nervous system. When you hear safety, if you tighten up, you don't feel safe. If me saying the word safe already makes you relive an event where your vulnerability was used against you, we can't talk about healing yet. We can't even use the word safe. We got to find another word, because safe space was that word. Those two words, safe space, has been used just for individuals to get what they wanted out of a person. Some, whoever this applies to. So it has to, I'm going to say it has to. For some, I know for me, I'll talk about me. When I was in therapy, the first time I was not safe at all.
I'm sorry, Mr. Earl. You are, from what I can see, you are a black man on my screen. I'm sorry. Did you say you went to therapy?
I did.
Okay, because I just need to emphasize that a black man went to therapy. It's okay for us to go to therapy. Continue. I'm sorry. I just needed to emphasize that you went to therapy.
Absolutely. And the first time I was not safe.
Okay.
The person could not relate to anything that I was saying. I'm saying a lot without saying it. Could not understand, could not relate, no cultural competency whatsoever. And that's another thing. We talk about safety, we talk about healing, we have to understand cultural competency. What may work for me may not work for the next black man, may not work for Jamel. But I may understand, he may not, because it's not a one size fits all. Right? So we have to get to that. That's what we really got to understand, the cultural competency. What was that person's culture? What was their upbringing? What were their dynamics? What did they understand? What was language like for them? So then when I got another therapist, I don't know what happened. I felt like for the first time in my life, period, that somebody saw me. Not the minister, not the preacher, not the husband, not the father. They saw Earl without me having to say a word. For me, safety was like, oh my God, I don't have to pull up a wall to talk to this person. So everything was able to come out like a breaking of a dam. Like it was just like a rushing, I was able to even recall memories of things I pushed so far back in my mind, my subconscious. I pushed it so far back. It was able to come to the forefront of my mind without me having to try to think so hard to put language to it. So for me, safety was being seen and not being afraid for someone to see me. I didn't feel like, if you see me now, are you going to look at me differently? Because some people have the fear. Some men have the fear, like, okay, I tried to be vulnerable before. It failed one too many times. I only got one more vulnerability left in me. Based on how I open up and based on how you respond, will let me know. Yeah, I'm good. It's okay. All right. Because before we can name the wound, before we can even relive that painful moment, before we could really unpack our lives and get to the root of things, we have to. It would be amazing to know that somebody wants to see us without hidden agenda. Without hidden agenda. Without hidden agenda. And you still see me after I open up. And am I still the same person in your eyes after? Because my healing is important to me. Get that. Even if you don't see me, I'm in a space now where I've already experienced what feeling seen looks like and what it feels like in real time for me. So for men, it could look different. Like I said, for Pastor Jamel, it could look different for it could look different for my brothers. Just because we were all raised by the same mother don't mean we all have the same language. We don't all have the same emotional space, temperature. Raised in the same house, treated differently. So we have to really understand what that is and what it looks like, because every man is going to experience a healing for themselves differently. To paint it with the same brush is asinine. I'm going to shut up. Pastor Jamel, because I want to hear you. Go ahead.
Brother, you walking heavy today, as always.
As always.
You walking heavy. I think to tag on to what you say about the safe thing is that we have to also understand that there is a difference between safety and security.
Sir?
You have to learn to secure yourself until you can be safe.
Woo! I want to throw something so bad. Oh my God.
If we understand that your safety may be out of your hands, but your security is in your hands.
Woo!
You have to make sure that you set up boundaries. You have to make sure that you have a sure understanding of what you will not accept. One of my things with therapists that I see that I have an issue with is they're lazy.
Man.
They don't want to really invest into really dealing with the patient they have before them, because it also causes them to also have to be vulnerable at a certain point.
Yep.
There is an investment from them that is required that
Yeah.
most therapists are not willing to do.
Yep.
Because you have to go home with that.
Yes.
Out of all the patients you're dealing with, you got to go home to a whole family and try to shut off your ability to see and diagnose what's happening in your house, because now you're bringing work home. I have a few friends that are therapists. A few, I think maybe almost close to 10. And it's amazing because one of the prevailing things they say is that there's certain places I can't go because it'll trigger me to start and activate the therapist in me. And I don't need to do that everywhere I am. There is a place where I need to just chill. I need to have time for just to be who I am. I got my own issues. When you got someone who's dealing with everybody else's issues and still have their own, you better give them space.
Please, one more time. Say that one more. Run that back, please.
When you have someone who's dealing with everybody else's issues and they have their own, you better give them space. If you do not give the therapist space, the therapist can easily become a client.
Easily. Oh, sorry.
And the truth of the matter is, a lot of the therapists that we have today are actual clients wearing a therapist's costume.
I tell you.
Because it comes to a point as a therapist, even as you're going through school, and you tell me if I'm wrong, even as you're going through school, one of the things you learn while going through school is they're psychoanalyzing you.
Yo.
The school is forcefully entering into my business
Absolutely.
that I did not contract for.
Absolutely.
Right.
I did
Sorry.
not.
So now
What is it?
you're in school to become something that's trying to invade your space.
Yep.
So
Pretty
automatically,
much.
for a therapist, it becomes there arises an inner conflict from the beginning,
Correct.
because I didn't come to share all my business. I came to learn how to diagnose and treat.
Yep.
But now you're over here all in my business. Why are you in my business?
All up in my business.
And I find that very frustrating.
Yep.
The other part of it is that when therapists go through all of that, it creates a lot of lazy therapists, a lot of therapists who don't want to invest their time, invest their energy. They just want to, let me give you what I think this is. Instead of you really hashing out what it is for yourself. Because tell me if I'm wrong again, as I understand it,
Go ahead.
the therapist ain't trying to tell you, I'm not here to give you the answer. The
Yep.
answer is in you.
Yes.
Right.
I'm to pull the answer out of you.
Yep.
Right.
Oh my God.
I am here to help facilitate your healing.
That's
I am
it.
not here to cure you.
Nope. Come on.
Right.
Talk, sir.
So understand, fellas, we've got to learn how to be participants in our healing. It is a collaborative thing.
Yes.
It is not you going to somebody and them giving you a special pill, them giving you a special word, them speaking some magic incantation over you that'll make you go all better. No, it is you dealing with the dark side that you have had trouble dealing with.
Oh my God.
It's you shedding light on the darkness. The only way you can bring yourself to light is by shining your light in your dark areas.
Sir. Ooh. I'm sorry.
You got your light shining everywhere else except in your dark areas.
Oh my God.
And you have to, when you begin to direct your light towards yourself, you'll start to heal people outside of you when you heal the one in you. Because the whole world is just a mirror. The whole world is just a macrocosm of the microcosm of what's happening in you.
Correct.
The people you deal with, the people you have in your circle, the people you don't like, the people you have a problem with, they are all manifestations of you.
Yeah. We have to use what we call what they call in forensics blue light. It finds the invisible evidence.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oof.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yo.
sir. Yes, sir.
This is
And,
good.
and that blue light goes to really show you that in every situation there's always light. There really is never darkness. Darkness does not exist. There is always light, but you have to shift yourself to the right frequency. Light deals on frequency and spectrums. You have to get to the right frequency.
Yeah.
So that you can have the right spectrum of light,
Yeah.
revealing what it is that's really going on in your life.
Yes. Father.
We have to be careful that we don't become afraid of phrases. And a lot of times, certain phrases trigger people to fear.
Yep.
It's almost a hypnosis. Certain things you can't say because it triggers a person to think a certain way. That's hypnosis. And we don't realize that from the cradle to the grave, there is something in society seeking to hypnotize you at every level.
At every level. Every level.
So you have to learn how not to be afraid of you. If I'm not afraid of me, I damn sure ain't gonna be afraid of nobody else. If I'm not afraid of me and the darkness in me, one thing I know about Jamel, and I said this a few ago. I know what's in Jamel. I know the darkness that's in Jamel. I know how crazy I can get if I do not deal with those parts of me. I have to make sure that I am not easily triggered by anger, easily triggered by manipulation.
Yeah.
No, and this is I'm going to say this and I'm going to stop because it's just so much. It's just this thing is so loaded.
Yes. Oh God.
One thing that I think will help us in our journey to healing is you got to let everybody be who they are.
Oh.
One of the things that I usually say, and I tell my daughter a lot, is you have to allow people to show you what they want to do because it'll tell you what they'd rather do.
We'll answer all of your questions.
And when you do that, you release yourself from being tied to people that will gaslight you, manipulate you, have little narcissistic tantrums with you. No, I have the ability to let you go. You do not have to co-create with me in this reality. No. I can let you go. Why? Because there is a me that I'm protecting. I'm setting up the security. That is the security until I am safe. I've dated many women. Now everybody who know me know I love women. I love women. But I also am not stupid enough to believe that every woman loves me. I can see the manipulation from a mile away.
Oh my God.
I can see the gaslighting from a mile away. I see the narcissistic tendencies from a mile away. And you know what I do? I let you be who you are, and I just remove myself from the equation. It's just that simple. Sometimes you engage with things that you were never supposed to connect with. And it is your connection that has you mentally ill, mentally disabled. And once you cut the connection, then you can start your healing journey. You've got to learn to put you first. It's not selfish, it's self first.
Listen, it's breaking my heart. Yeah, we got to end. It's well after 9 o'clock. Thank you to those who stayed. This segment has been absolutely mind-blowing. Oh my God. I appreciate you guys so much. Y'all have opened up so many cans. These comments are popping. Y'all can go back. I couldn't even post all of them. Go back and read the comments because the comments are for y'all. We got to figure out this platform because I think this is the next level to Solace Saturday. We're going to talk off screen and figure out a calendar when we come back in September because this is needed. This is the next level of podcast. This is the next level of healing. This is the truth that needs to be heard. So get it in your spirit, Earl. I know you got a wife, you got kids, so you may not be available every Saturday or however we conform. But please understand, I need y'all. And the men need to hear you because there's men that's watching that's not commenting, but they're listening. I need y'all. So y'all enjoy your vacation. Enjoy your vacation. But real talk, I need y'all. I need y'all. This has been like the utmost best platform in 5 years. Right up there when my bishop taught how to forgive and forget. Which is, I'm about to get that tatted because it was amazing. I cannot express enough how much I appreciate you guys for doing this. Get this book because we're going to come back to this book after vacation because this right here, we are becoming disruptors. And Earl, with your permission, that just might be my theme when we come back.
Sure.
Because it's bubbling. It's got me like, ooh. I want to, because I'm that person. I'm that person because I don't like phony forgiveness. I don't like manipulation. I don't like this culture of silence that's been created. I don't like being targeted for the truth. I don't like one of the craziest things, and we're leaving. One of the craziest things in DOE is that they train you, and you have to pay for it, to be a mandated reporter. If you see something, you say something. But if I say something, then I'm the bad person, and now I'm a target. And now there's these cliques that don't want to be bothered because you said something about an incident. This is why I need to go to therapy, because I was like, I'm so confused. So I'm definitely, if I don't know about anybody else, but I am definitely a disruptor. I'm definitely. And we are going to get into this.
Where can we find the book?
I appreciate everybody. Listen, buy this book. If you need me to help you buy the book, inbox me. But this is my baby. The trilogy is my baby. It's me. It's my. But I need you to get this. If you thought the Crisis Compass was a book, I need you to get this one. This one right here, by this guy right here. Right here. Beautiful. I love y'all. Everybody who tuned in your comments, thank you for being here with us. Y'all be safe. Enjoy your summer. Stay alert. Stay aware. And until September, y'all stay safe and stay encouraged. Love you. Bye.